If you enjoy a complex Spellslinger deck with high variance and a lot of adaptability that plays the interactive game, then you should probably check this build out. I'm Sven and welcome to my channel, Ceaseless MTG. As mentioned before, we're playing a Spellslinger deck and we're playing Kess Dissident Mage as our commander. The deck is built in a way so that it's always trying to adapt to the current situation at the table. It does so by packing a bunch of modal cards and split cards and cards that can target different types of permanents. In my opinion, these cards work in a really cool way with Kess, since thanks to her ability, you can play one mode on a card in the early game, and then later in the game, once you have Kess in play, you can play another mode, or you can play the same mode again. I also want to quickly talk a little bit about budget here. While I wouldn't exactly categorize this deck as a budget deck, it is definitely on the cheaper side compared to some stock lists, with every card in the list sitting below $10 and the total price of the deck sitting at around $150. And now, let's have a look at some cards. We have Drown in the Loch, Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Feed the Swarm, Dreadbore, Izzet Charm, Rakdos Charm, Mystic Confluence, Expansion Explosion, and Finale of Promise. These cards constitute most of the interaction in the deck. I just think it's really cool that you can use, say, the expansion half of Expansion Explosion to copy something like a Rampant Growth on turn 2, and then go big with the Explosion half later on. Or you can use your Izzet Charm to pick off something like a Mana Dork, and then later you can use it to loot through your deck to find the things you need. I think you get the idea. While we're on the topic of interaction, we're also running a few mass removal effects. We have Vandal Blast, Languish, Shadow's Verdict, Blasphemous Act, and Thing in the Ice. We're also packing a few more counterspells with Counterspell, Narset's Reversal, and Negate. Not having access to green means we can't rely on land ramp, so naturally we're packing a bunch of cheap mana rocks. So we're playing Sol Ring, some Signets, some Talismans, Mindstone, and Thought Vessel. We are also playing a lot of rituals, as they happen to synergize very well with Kess's ability, since you get to recast them from the graveyard to generate even more mana. So we're playing Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, Mana Geyser, Jeska's Will, and Seething Song. Lastly, we're playing just a few cost reduction effects, as it is one of the most powerful ways you can ramp. So we're playing Goblin Electromancer, Baral Chief of Compliance, and Primal Amulet. We're playing a bunch of cheap cantrips because they help us churn through the deck to find the things we need. So we're playing Opt, Preordain, Ponder, Brainstorm, Thought Scour, Mental Note, Faithless Looting, Jetaxian Probe, Impulse, and Frantic Surge. Now, cards like Preordain, Ponder, and Brainstorm are pretty typical inclusions in most blue commander decks, but as you can see, we're playing a way higher density of these cantrips. The reason for that is that thanks to Kess's ability, they actually do more than just replace themselves, they turn into actual card draw. Speaking of actual card draw, we're running some of that as well. We have Fact or Fiction, Dig Through Time, and Treasure Cruise. We also have a wheel package as a pseudo win condition. And we have Narset, Powder of Veils, Notion Thief, alongside Windfall, Days Undoing, and Wheel of Misfortune. Lastly, we're playing a couple of tutors just for that extra bit of consistency. So we have Diabolic Tutor and Dark Petition. We're also running a couple of protection artifacts in Lightning Greaves and Nurok Stealth Suit. Okay, so Lightning Greaves is just the best there is in the format, it needs no explanation. However, I do prefer Nurok Stealth Suit over something like Swiftfoot Boots in blue decks that don't care about attacking, because of the ability to attach it at instant speed. We also need a plan to actually win the game apart from just wheel locking the table out of the game. Now that plan is usually resolving a big X spell like Exsanguinate or Ribbons to just drain the table, or picking them off one at a time with a Reservoir. Now I decided to also mention Underworld Breach and Past in Flames here, since both of these cards will likely lead to us ending the game by giving us access to the entire graveyard for the turn. I haven't built an actual mana base for this deck as I wish to keep this video as compact as possible, and going over every single land would be rather trivial and would probably double the length of the video. I will however point you towards some lands and land cycles that are great budget options for the Commander format, and those are Myriad Landscape, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Evolving Wilds, and Terramorphic Expanse. The Bounce lands, the Temples, the Pain lands, the Tri-lands, the Vivid lands, the Thriving lands, the Battle lands, the Cycling lands, and the Panorama lands. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. And also, if there's anything you would have done differently, if there's a card you think I should have included in the list, or if there's something that I did include in the list that you think has no place there, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you kindly for the view. Until next time.